Don't give up. God is with you.
Have you ever messed up so badly that you thought your life was over? We all make mistakes that leave us feeling broken, ashamed, and hopeless. But what if I told you that your biggest failure could actually be the start of your greatest comeback? Today, I am going to share a story that proves it is never too late to start again. Before we dive into this life-changing message, I have a small favor to ask. If you believe in second chances and you want to support this channel, please hit that like button right now. It helps us reach more people who need hope. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the Jesus Impact and type "I am ready" in the comments below. Let's claim your new beginning together. Have you ever looked in the mirror and whispered, "I blew it"? We have all been there. That moment when the weight of your mistakes feels heavier than the hope of your future. Maybe it was a financial collapse, a broken marriage, an addiction that spiraled out of control, or a dream that turned into a nightmare. You feel like you've hit rock bottom, and the voice in your head says, "It's over. You've gone too far. There is no coming back from this." But before you close the book on your life, you need to hear the greatest comeback story ever told. It wasn't told by a motivational speaker or a CEO. It was told by Jesus. He told this story specifically for the person who thinks they have disqualified themselves from love and success. This is the story of the prodigal son, and it is proof that your current situation is not your final destination. Jesus paints a picture of a young man who had it all. He was the son of a wealthy father, living with security and abundance. But he wanted more. He wanted freedom, and he wanted it right now. He went to his father and essentially said, "I don't want to wait for you to die. Give me my inheritance now. I want to live life on my own terms." Shockingly, the father agreed. With pockets full of cash and a heart full of pride, the son left home for a far country. For a while, it was a party. He was living the high life. Luxury, friends, excitement. He thought he was finally free. But the thing about the far country is that it always charges a high price. Eventually, the money ran out. And when the money disappeared, so did the friends. To make matters worse, a severe famine hit the land. The young man went from being a VIP to a beggar overnight. He became so desperate that he took the only job he could find: feeding pigs. For a Jewish boy, this was the ultimate humiliation. He was so hungry that he looked at the pig's food, the pods and husks, and wished he could eat them. He had lost his money, his friends, his reputation, and his dignity. He was alone in the mud. But this is where the magic happens. Jesus says, "But when he came to himself," this is the most powerful moment in the story. Sitting in that pig pen, he stopped blaming the economy. He stopped blaming his friends. And he stopped lying to himself. He had a moment of clarity. He realized a hard truth. Even the hired servants in my Father's house have bread enough and to spare, and I perish here with hunger. But he didn't just realize it. He made a decision. He said, "I will arise and go to my father." He rehearsed his apology. He planned to say, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants." He didn't expect restoration. He just hoped for survival. So he got up out of the mud and started the long, shameful walk home. Imagine the scene. He is walking down the road, smelling like pigs, clothes tattered, head hung low. He is terrified of rejection. But the story tells us that, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him. This implies the father had been watching. Every day, the father had been scanning the horizon, waiting for a silhouette to appear. When he saw his son, the father didn't cross his arms. He didn't wait for an apology. The father ran. In that culture, dignified older men did not run. It was considered shameful to lift your robes and sprint. But the father didn't care about his dignity. He cared about his son. He threw his arms around the boy and kissed him. The son tried to get through his rehearsed speech. "I am not worthy." But the father wouldn't even let him finish. He shouted to his servants, "Bring out the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet. Kill the fatted calf. Let us eat and celebrate. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Jesus didn't just tell this story to entertain us. He told it to transform us. Here is what this means for you right now. First, your value is not based on your performance. The son thought his value was tied to his wealth or his behavior. When he lost his money, he thought he lost his worth. But the father saw his son. You might feel like a failure today. You might feel worthless because of a divorce, a bankruptcy, or a sin you can't shake. But God doesn't view you as an employee. He views you as a child. A diamond dropped in the mud is still a diamond. You are still valuable. Second, you are one decision away from a different life. The miracle didn't happen when the son felt sorry. It happened when he took action. Many people stay in the pig pen of life because they are waiting for someone else to rescue them. The son had to say, "I will arise." Motivation gets you started. Habit keeps you going. But it starts with a decision to get up. Stop staring at what you lost and start walking toward where you belong. Third, God wants to restore, not just repair. The son came back hopping to be a servant. The father made him a son again. Notice the gifts the father gave. The robe covered his shame. The ring symbolized authority. The sandals meant he was free. God doesn't just want to patch up your life. He wants to restore your dignity. He wants to give you a future that is better than your past. The story of the prodigal son ends with a party. It ends with joy. If you are reading this and you feel like you are far from home, far from your purpose, far from God, please know this. The Father is watching the road. He isn't angry. He isn't waiting to say, "I told you so." He is waiting to embrace you. Don't let pride keep you in the pig pen. Don't let shame stop your feet from moving. You have a destiny that is bigger than your history. Get up. Dust yourself off. Come home. Your celebration is waiting. If this message spoke to your heart today, and you want to be reminded that you are never alone, I invite you to join our family here. You don't have to walk this journey by yourself. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of hope. And one last thing, if you know someone who is struggling right now, someone who needs to hear this comeback story, please share this video with them. You might just be the sign they have been looking for. I am praying for you. See you in the next video.